other end.
The counter punch.
Alright, let me let all you Canelo Alvarez haters know early. This video right here is not a video that you want to see, because I'm not finna tell your clown ass what the hell you want to hear. You want somebody that's going to, you know, tell you what the fuck you want to hear? It won't be here. So get your ass up out of here and go to one of them other channels who's gonna, you know, praise your God and all that shit. Okay? Now I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. And I was gonna make this video a long time ago. Canelo Alvarez, he do want to fight Andre Ward, but he's not going to be chasing nobody that's in retirement, basically. But if you notice, Andre Ward, he stay putting salt on Canelo's name, okay? This joker right here think this shit goes over our head like we don't see this shit, you know? And he tried to say this shit in a subliminal way, you know? You know how people do that? They try to play that whole classy shit, you know? Trying to, you know, he is a little slickster. Yeah, that clown Ward is a slickster. Okay, if your comprehension skills is not all the way there, he will throw some shit right over your head. Okay, let me give you an example. You know, every time interviewers ask Canelo Alvarez about Andre Ward, he gives Andre Ward his respect. Andre Ward is a retired fighter, and Canelo Alvarez is like, I got respect for you and all that. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Do not feel, by no means, that your ass can get that work like everybody else. Andre Ward, let me give you guys one of the examples of some of the slick shit he does. Like, I remember one time the interviewer said that, would you fight Canelo, or would you be interested in a Canelo fight? And this joker gonna have the nerve to say, oh, Canelo Alvarez, he wouldn't call me out. He wouldn't call me out. Canelo Alvarez wouldn't do that. You know, instead of just saying, you know, Canelo Alvarez, he know what would happen if he called me out. What he's basically saying is Canelo Alvarez don't want that smoke. He know I'm not these other guys. I will whip his ass. That's what Andre Ward is implying, y'all. Okay, for those of y'all that can't catch that shit. Okay, because what do you mean? You know, he wouldn't call you out. I mean, who the fuck are you? Like, listen, y'all. Andre Ward is a great fighter. I'm not taking that away from him. Future Hall of Famer, but let's not act like you ain't been in some close, tough fights. I mean, a lot of people feel like you lost that Sergey Kovalev fight, and let me tell y'all this: every time I rewatch that Sergey Kovalev fight, I have a different winner. I'll be like, okay, Ward got it. Watch it again, I'll be like, Sergey Kovalev got this shit, y'all. Then I watch it another day, and I'm like, hold the hell up. This could have been a draw, man. I don't know. You dig? So it depends on which day you watch that fight. You're gonna have a different outcome every time you watch that damn fight. Alright? So my whole problem with Andre Ward is stop acting like, you know, you're untouchable, or, you know, that you ain't been in, like, you can't be touched. Like I said, you are a skillful fighter. But I'm starting to notice this Floyd shit is coming out of you a little bit, you know? You know, being a retired fighter, in your head, you probably feel like you've done more than Canelo and all this shit, and you see Canelo getting that praise that you want. I'm telling you guys, that jealousy shit, it'll slip off on you, and you won't even realize it. Okay, that comes upon if it's in your blood or not. Okay, now I know a lot of these clowns will say, "Oh, why would Andre Ward hate on Canelo Alvarez? He's a future Hall of Famer, and, you know, Andre Ward he's done more than Canelo, and Andre Ward will beat Canelo." Let me tell you this, man. Andre Ward will not beat Canelo Alvarez in 2000. Now, years ago, this is a different conversation. But in 2022, this clown will not beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm saying it here first, okay? Listen, Andre Ward, he will have to come out of retirement and get about 3 tune-ups, 2 to 3 tune-ups, to make this fight even debatable. Now, I know these haters will say, oh, Andre Ward come out of retirement, take 1 tune-up, and easily beat Canelo Alvarez, okay? Andre Ward can come out of retirement and just, you know, wipe the floor with Canelo Alvarez. If you let these clowns tell it, Jamal Charlo is going to easily wipe the floor with Canelo. Demetrius Andrade and this other clown, Dave Benavidez, is going to do the same shit to Canelo Alvarez. So we better not take y'all word for it. And I just feel like Andre Ward, he definitely don't have the same mind frame, because I see Andre Ward as a commentator now. I don't even think, you know, we don't even seem like he wants to come back to the sport of boxing. But I feel like, you know, a big Canelo Alvarez check probably will make him change his mind. But yeah, I said it here first. Canelo Alvarez will beat Andre Ward, y'all. Okay? Canelo Alvarez is faster at this point in his career. Okay? Canelo Alvarez is very powerful at 175 and 168, which we might have to drain this clown, Andre Ward, if, you know, if he's talking all this smack, you know, make him come to 168. Now I'm just fucking with y'all. Canelo Alvarez can go to 175 because Canelo Alvarez has shown me and many others that his power, he can actually carry his power up to 175. And I think Canelo Alvarez shown that he can carry that power up to heavyweight. See, a lot of people can't carry their power up with them, but Canelo Alvarez has proved that already. And Canelo Alvarez, he knocked Sergey Kovalev out cold. Now, so I know these haters will say, oh, but Kovalev was old, you know. Kovalev, Andre Ward fought a younger Kovalev, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But the chin is the last shit to go. Okay, the chin stays with you. Your power and the chin, that's the last two things to go. And Sergey Kovalev never had a bad chin, y'all. He's been in there with many punchers and haven't been stopped. And for Canelo to be the only guy to stop him cold, it lets you know. I feel like Canelo Alvarez hits harder than Sergey Kovalev at 175. And we cannot forget that Andre Ward got dropped in that first fight by Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev almost ended that fight. We can't forget about that fight, okay? So my thing is, let's not act like Andre Ward is flawless. Now, if we're talking 10 years ago, it's a whole different conversation. But Andre Ward, even in the rematch when he stopped Sergey Kovalev, he didn't look fucking fantastic. He got a good win. We're not going to knock that, but he didn't look fantastic at all. You know, and the fight was, you know, it was actually a good fight until the stoppage. Now, I do give him credit for that stoppage. But, you know, a lot of people can make the argument that he hit Sergey Kovalev low, you know. And Sergey Kovalev don't even like blacks. So, you know, I'm not taking this clown side. I'm just letting y'all know right now, it is what it is, okay? It's not laughable and it's not shocking if Andre Ward was able to get his ass whipped by Canelo Alvarez, all right? It's not. Andre Ward, what? How old are you now? 38, down there 40. You know, Canelo Alvarez is way younger than you. Like I say, he's faster, stronger. His ring IQ is crazy. Yours is too. But I don't know if you're going to be able to do a lot of the things that you did several years ago. Don't act like this is blasphemy. Like, it don't make sense for Canelo Alvarez to whip this clown ass. Okay? And Andre Ward versus Canelo Alvarez, that'd be a mega fight. We could make that shit happen next year on Cinco de Mayo. Why? Canelo take care of this clown Charlo